And at 9:47 p.m., same place, walking in the same direction, is you, Jamie.
Netflix's limited series Adolescence has dominated the streaming platform since its March 13, 2025 release, quickly claiming the #1 spot worldwide. This 4-part psychological drama, directed by Philip Barantini and co-directed by Stephen Graham and Jack Thorne, has captivated audiences with its unflinching portrayal of youth violence. Through its innovative, single-take episodes and powerful performances, the series explores the disturbing intersection of online radicalization, toxic masculinity, and teenage vulnerability. The story of Adolescence. Spoilers ahead. Adolescence begins with police breaking into the home of 13-year-old Jamie Miller, brilliantly portrayed by newcomer Owen Cooper, to arrest him for the murder of his classmate Katie. Initially, both Jamie and his parents, Eddie, Stephen Graham, and Mandy, vehemently deny his involvement, convinced there must be a mistake. After the first episode concludes, however, footage from the school reveals the shocking truth: Jamie did commit the crime. This series then transitions from questioning whether he did it to exploring the more haunting question of why. Investigators uncover Jamie's engagement with incel, involuntary celibate culture, and manosphere content online. We learn that Jamie had approached Katie after a topless photo of her was circulated among classmates via Snapchat. His disturbing reasoning: "I just thought that she might be weak. I thought when she was that weak, she might like me." After Katie rejected him, she sent Instagram messages with emojis labeling him an incel. Jamie's online activities reveal his exposure to misogynistic content, including his admiration for Andrew Tate's 80-20 theory, and the idea that 80% of women are attracted to 20% of men. The third episode features a powerful therapy session between Jamie and therapist Aaron Doherty, where his repeated pleas to "tell Dad I'm right" reveal his desperate need for paternal validation. This highlights how his actions stem not from just online radicalization, but from deeper emotional issues with a seemingly normal family. True story or fiction? The real-life inspirations. The creators of Adolescence have been clear that the series is not based on a single true case. Rather, it draws inspiration from a troubling pattern of knife crimes involving young boys and girls in the UK and beyond. Stephen Graham explained that the idea originated from several tragic cases. There was an incident in Liverpool, a young girl, and she was stabbed to death by a young boy. I just thought, why? Then there was another girl in South London who was stabbed to death at a bus stop. And there was this thing up north, where that young girl Brianna Guy was lured into the park by 2 teenagers and they stabbed her. I just thought, what's going on? The series arrives amid alarming statistics about youth violence. In March 2023 alone, the UK recorded almost 18,500 cautions and convictions for knife possession, with 17.3% of offenders being ages 10 and 17. This epidemic of knife crime among young people, particularly boys targeting girls, served as the foundational inspiration for the series. Jack Thorne, who co-wrote the series with Graham, was also influenced by Gitta Sereni's book, Cries Unheard: Why Children Kill, about 11-year-old Mary Bell's murders in the 1960s, which explored not just the crimes, but the factors that led to them. Real cases that echo adolescence. Several real cases bear striking similarities to Jamie and Katie's fictional story. In Hexham, England, 2024, 15-year-old Holly Newton was stabbed repeatedly by a 16-year-old boy who she alleged was stalking her. The case shocked the community, with its seemingly senseless violence between classmates. In South London, 2023, a 17-year-old girl was stabbed to death after she refused flowers from a boy while walking to school with friends. The rejection-fueled violence parallels Jamie's reaction to Katie's dismissal. The issue extends beyond the UK. In Oklahoma City, 2018, a 14-year-old boy stabbed his female classmate during a school assembly after she told him she liked him only as a friend. Similarly, in Connecticut, 2014, 16-year-old Marin Sanchez was fatally stabbed by a classmate after declining his prom invitation. These cases highlight a disturbing pattern of violence perpetrated by young males following romantic rejection, a central theme in Adolescence.
Do you know how many times she was stabbed, Jamie?
No.
7 times.
The manosphere and online radicalization. Adolescence meticulously examines how online communities can radicalize vulnerable young men. The series explores the manosphere, websites, forums, and content promoting toxic masculinity and misogyny. Figures like Andrew Tate, explicitly referenced in the series, have gained massive followings among young boys. The 80-20 theory that Jamie mentions is a popular concept in incel communities, suggesting that most women pursue only the most attractive men, leaving the majority of males rejected and frustrated. The timing of adolescence is particularly relevant, coinciding with increasing concern about young men being radicalized by online content creators who offer simplistic explanations for complex social and emotional issues. The series shows how Jamie's vulnerability and desire for belonging make him susceptible to these harmful ideologies.
That night, I didn't touch her.
Systemic failure and shared responsibility. Rather than portraying Jamie as simply a bad kid, Adolescence examines the various systems that failed both him and Katie. Despite being loving parents, Eddie and Mandy miss crucial signs of Jamie's online radicalization. They provide him with a computer, but fail to monitor his activities, assuming his withdrawal is normal teenage behavior. Eddie's passive neglect is particularly poignant. Though he doesn't physically abuse Jamie as his own father did to him, he creates an environment where his emotions and anger take priority, teaching Jamie problematic lessons about masculinity. The school environment is depicted as chaotic and understaffed, with adults struggling to maintain control and address problematic behaviors before they escalate. One Reddit user described it as a chilling dystopian depiction of a typical English school. The ease with which Jamie accesses misogynistic content raises questions about the responsibility of social media platforms and content creators. Meanwhile, adequate mental health support is noticeably absent until after tragedy strikes. As one viewer noted about the show, the brilliance of this show is how it completely avoids pointing the finger at a singular cause. We're shown a society that's failed on so many levels at giving guidance and visibility to young people across the board.
She just laughed and said, "Oh, I'm not that desperate."
What Adolescence tells modern parents. Adolescence serves as a wake-up call about the hidden influences children may encounter in today's digital landscape. It forces parents to ask themselves crucial questions. Do they know what their children are viewing online? Are they aware of their classroom environment? Who's actually influencing their kids when parents aren't watching? The series illustrates how even well-meaning parents can miss signs of radicalization. Eddie and Mandy aren't abusive or traditionally neglectful, yet they fail to recognize their son's dangerous path. As Thorne noted, it's about parents that didn't see him, a school system that let him down, and the ideas that he's consumed. The show suggests that passive neglect, being physically present but emotionally disconnected, can be just as harmful as more obvious forms of neglect. Jamie's repeated isolation, anger, and withdrawal were warning signs his parents noticed too late. For modern parents, Adolescence underscores the importance of maintaining genuine connections with teenagers while being attuned to their digital lives. It reminds us that providing material comfort isn't enough. Children need guidance, navigating both their emotional landscape and the often toxic online world. As one viewer commented, the show should be compulsive viewing for all teenagers and parents of teenagers. It's a stark reminder that a family's worst nightmare could unfold even in seemingly stable homes. And engagement with our children's lives, both online and offline, are not optional but essential in the digital age. Through its unflinching portrayal, Adolescence challenges viewers to look beneath the surface in their own homes and communities, urging us to take preventative steps before tragedy strikes. In an era where children can be silently influenced by dangerous ideologies, the message is clear. Pay attention, stay connected, and never assume your child is immune to the darker currents of modern adolescence. This is where the video ends, and if you liked what you've seen here, drop a sub for us. See you in the next one!